Lawrence and Elizabeth Carling, and these people, I mean, it was just beautiful lacrosse. The best score against them while they were on tour here was 10-3. And that was Boston, both times we played them. We came closest to, that was the closest score there was. And then when I went to try out for the South team, when I went back to England, I got off the train at some place in Surrey, and I'm walking along the perimeter of the ground where we're going to play, and I look across and I see Ann Morton and B.J. Lewis. And I'm thinking, oh, I think I'm in the wrong place. The little freshman at Dartford, I think I'm in the wrong place. I wonder why I came. But that worked, and that again is just that. Well, I'll tell you, we're playing and we're practicing. It's quite obvious, you know, as the thing goes along. I'm going to be the second home on the second team. And it's going, well, that's fine. B.J. Lewis is the second home on the first team, so you know, don't feel badly. And I go right at the end of the afternoon. I'm walking by the selectors. I'd gone into the restroom or something, and I'm walking back to the field, and I go behind the selectors. And when I'm right behind them, I hear them say, "We must find a defending center." And the next thing I know, the next time they line up a thing, they send me in at center on the second team. Well, that poor girl who was in the first team center, she never. I mean, she was like in a box. Like, I mean, I don't think I ever even asked for the ball. I just will get her out of the thing. And then all of a sudden, these amazing things happen in sports. Took the draw. It went out to Ann Morton. B.J. Lewis cut out, Ann's at left attack, B.J. at second home, cuts out here, gets the ball, turns in, and something made me decide it's time for you to leave your center and go straight down the middle, just like Mike did. And B.J. passes me the perfect pass. I catch it, score the goal. They blow the whistle and say, "You can all go to tea now, we'll talk." And I thought, ooh, there may be more to this than I thought. And then, so to have played with those people, and then, you know, it was a point of, my point was having experienced that level, or played with that level of people. Then to know that was the level it could be played. And I have to say, when the touring team came here in 1970, and the tournament was in somewhere up in New England, I think, and it was a very so-so Great Britain touring team, the 70 one, after the marvelous one, and people I played with in England. And the U.S. just made the same move over and over, just same move down the field. It was everything. All the passes went to the outside. Eventually, they have to come in because that's where the goal is. And then the pass would come in, and these very good friends of mine, but not an astute lacrosse players, but not fast by any stretch of the imagination. When the ball came in, the covering wing defense came down the field, and as the ball came in, the cover point went off. The covering wing defense came in and intercepted the ball that went to the not free second home, and off it went again. And this happened over and over and over again. I think that was probably the most depressing lacrosse match that I've ever watched. And I thought, you know, there were a lot of very talented U.S. players, but there was no coaching. And I thought, this has got to change. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so that was another. So all of these things come into 70, 73, 74, 75. And it was just a series of things that, and it's, you know, it's just experience that you can draw on, and then, you know, and the game was great. Game is great. I mean, it was great. Our game is great.
Well, I hope you won't be disappointed, Kathy, but I don't recall anybody saying, thank you, Kathy, for all those stick work drills.
That is true.
I think that every drill that I ever asked anyone, suggested to them that they might do, was related to the game. I watched so many drills. People are out there passing this weaving thing when they're passing, you know, one. I mean, it never happens in the game. Why? I said to Carol Calfiner, why are you practicing this? It never happens in the game. For every match, everybody, all the college teams and whatever there are out there doing these drills that are worthless. They're all running towards each other, catching the ball, passing past you, you know, and they're going back and forth like this. I never use the drill, so I can't really even explain it. But I mean, and there's nobody's catching on the left or anything like that. It's just straight forward, so you're not throwing in an angle or judging, you know, how far ahead to put a ball or anything like that. It's just da 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 da. I say I do believe that almost every drill you ever did was directly related to the game.
Where did you get the idea of the boxes that you did?
Oh, when you go, I forget where
What boxes?
it was a spatial
I don't remember
thing.
anything.
Yeah, it was a
So-
spatial thing to only. Didn't we do
here,
a drill
here,
too when
here.
you can only
So
run
you
two
would
steps and you gotta pass?
So
Yeah,
you
I
would
mean,
run here,
That was
pass
and it
on
was
the angle.
to work
And then
in
she would be
these
running
little
here.
space, you know, to
Oh,
relatively
I do
confined
remember that now,
spaces.
actually. So how did it work?
So you have a square, right? One here, one here, one here.
And they're good.
So you would run in a straight
I
line
use those with
that you would
beginners.
pass on the angle.
Because right away
And then you reversed
know,
it.
They know,
So then
okay,
you
I'm
had-
gonna go from that cone, I've got to catch or pick up or whatever between that cone and that cone, and then pass to somebody between this cone and this cone. Those are the boxes you mean.
I thought these were little ones on the, one marked, I remember running around little boxes marked out on the ground.
How big, like a grid?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When I'm saying cones, I'm using the cones. You didn't like it.
No, I was wondering how you came up with these.
Well, I think that you have to, if you have, the better your stick work is, the smaller space you can be efficient, you can be within that space. So you could, you know, at the time we played, the field was enormous. But you don't want, I mean, to be efficient, you actually want to use as little of the field as possible to get the ball, to move the ball from goal to goal as quickly as possible. We used to spend hours at college, especially when we didn't have, where we would just put the one team on the field and we would just pass down the field using you had to use four passes, or you had to use four, or you had to go from right to left and come back to the middle or whatever. But we spent a lot of time just working one team, goalkeeper starting the offense and going all the way down.
This is how you taught passing and catching, because at Shippensburg, we were teaching kids that had never played lacrosse, how to play lacrosse in January in a mirrored dance room.
Yes, yeah, that's
Mirrors on 3 walls.
And those teams were good because we sweated blood in practice, those inside practices. They were miserable. They were miserable for me, and they were really miserable for them. But when they got out on the field, I mean, we went from
Second year of the team undefeated.
second year we were undefeated. Yeah.
Second year they ever had a lacrosse.
They ever had a lacrosse team. Yeah.
We're gonna ask you to do one more thing, and that is that we just decided that everybody decided that they wanted a book too, so you get to sign.
We've all signed yours.
It'll
Oh,
only, it'll
so I'm
only,
gonna come down and sign a lot of books?
it'll only be 14 times.
Fun! Are they here, or do you want me to?
Yes, of course they're here. They're here.
Look at these, oh, look at these pictures. This is amazing.
You're gonna see certain themes when we're reading each other's stuff. It's very interesting.
Very interesting.
Plastic bag.
You know, carrying them on the plane from South Carolina to make sure they walk in the rain of the plane.
Kat, this is,
Oh my gosh, Connie.
Anyway,
Oh,
and Kathy, this is really a giant Valentine from the team to you.
It's a giant Valentine. Hey, I mean, you're all my Valentines. I mean, it's amazing. And you know, and John keeps saying, that team is really amazing. And he says, boy, you've really got an amazing team. Yeah. Wait till Jackie sees this.
she can purchase one online.
Oh, this is just fantastic.
For $79.95.
But you know what I've said a couple of times is it's each of you bringing your individualism to the whole. That's the answer to the whole question, the whole story.
That's exactly what that book shows.
The individual.
The same questions,
Uh-huh.
none of them answered the same. But I'm just reflecting.
Yeah, that's exactly, you know. And I really thought your point, I mean, I've learned a lot this weekend. The point that, Connie, I think it was you who made it before lunch, that the having to go away for 6 weeks with a group of people that you had bonded with, but, you know, you still, I'm sure there was some little thoughts every once in a while, well, I'm not sure that I'm really going to be good staying with her, or I'm not sure that that's who, you know, or you see your grooming list and you think, okay, well, I don't really know her that well, so, but two people had to come together, and two people had to come together, and two people had to come together to, you know, deal with the tongue and deal with the cucumber soup and deal with it.
And the unrefrigerated chicken.
And I know Beth and I were dealing with haggis and so on and so forth. That was an important part of it. That was an important part of it all. I mean, if we'd all been staying in some big dormitory somewhere for anything, I mean, I even thought that when we were at Bedford. It wasn't the same when we stayed at Bedford as it was when everybody was staying at their, we played least well after staying at Bedford. But I think it was that middle of the or tired, or the euphoria of the beginning has worn off, and now okay, that's the first 2 weeks. Now we've got to get through 4 more. But I do think that it's not all bad for a team to have to deal with the unknown, as long as you've got a partner to do it with.
Did you make the room assignments?
No, they did. Because New England nation, yeah.
If they made the assignment, how in the world did they put Janet, Granny, and me with that very highfalutin lady?
Donnie, they knew you were
Saw the age and thought you're old.
I mean, doesn't she look a little highfalutin? They knew you.
We were the older ones, so we were more mature.
Yeah, right.
She had little sew things where she washed her clothes out, and I didn't know what to do with it.
We had egg cups, and the eggs were, I mean, they were really soft boiled. I was looking for a plant to put it. I
I mean, we're sitting at this table for two in her dining room.